Good afternoon, I'm Brian Reagan. This is
Tyler Kelly.
And welcome you to our midday meditation on the book of Isaiah. Today we are in the hefty chapter of Isaiah, chapter 20. Tyler?
In the year that Tartan came to Ashdod, when Sargon the king of Assyria sent him, and he fought against Ashdod and took it. At the same time the Lord spoke by Isaiah the son of Amoz, saying, Go and remove the sackcloth from your body, and take your sandals off your feet. And he did so, walking naked and barefoot. And the Lord said, Just as my servant Isaiah has walked naked and barefoot 3 years for a sign and a wonder against Egypt and Ethiopia, so shall the king of Assyria lead away the Egyptians as prisoners, and the Ethiopians as captives, young and old, naked and barefoot, with their buttocks uncovered, to the shame of Egypt. Then they shall be afraid and ashamed of Ethiopia, their expectation, in Egypt their glory. And the inhabitant of this territory will say in that day, Surely such is our expectation, wherever we flee for help, to be delivered from the king of Assyria, and how shall we escape?
All right. So some of you going, what in the world does that mean? Well, here's what it means. This is one of those where I like the New Revised a little bit better. The Lord told him to remove the sackcloth from his loins. Okay. Translation, take off your sackcloth underwear and walk around naked. Okay. But what was that? Verse 5. And they shall be dismayed and confounded. Not that they shall be afraid of Ethiopia, because who else is being carried off? Ethiopia and Egypt. Okay, so Egypt isn't going to be afraid of Ethiopia. They're going to be confused. It's going to cause confusion. Now, why is this in here? And we may get to the verse. Egypt is one of the three nations that the Lord claims as his own in the Old Testament. And so for the Lord to make a judgment against Egypt, and since Ethiopia was kind of like the little sister to the south of Egypt, they've had this weird relationship going on now for what? Probably 700 years with Israel, 700 years. And you've got Assyria, you've got Israel and Judah being bad. God has raised up Assyria. The Egyptians are bad. The Ethiopians are bad. And so the Lord is laying out how massive Assyria's judgment is going to be. But this, why we look at this one is when people say the prophets came to the Jews. Well, yeah, okay. But here's a prophet prophesying about the Assyrians, the Egyptians, and the Ethiopians to the people of God. Now you say, well, how come he wouldn't tell? Okay. In Miami, Tyler, are there people from multiple nations in Miami?
Yes.
Yeah. There were Egyptians and Ethiopians who I guarantee you saw this. And they probably went back and said, hey, there's a guy up there in Israel. Israel was known. Their God was known. And so this judgment and this prophecy, and let's be clear, there is a woman, I don't know if she still does it, but for years there in Denver, she would get on a horse and she would ride naked down 16th Street Mall until the police would come and arrest her every year. They called her Lady Godiva. You know, oh, Lady Godiva riding her horse again. And every year they put her on the news. You know, and they'd catch the angle just right and they'd blur out a little bit. But she did have really long hair and she tried to cover up with long hair. You say, well, no, because see, it's not normal for naked people to walk around in the street. Or to ride horses for that matter. So if you were there and you saw this and you were Egyptian or Ethiopian, and with the trade routes and stuff, back and forth to Egypt, guess what? Word went back. Word went back. So God has always been interacting with the other nations. It wasn't all just about Israel. The simple fact is, from the time of Israel's institution by Moses, when they came out after the captivity, to the time of Christ, is actually the shortest period in the Bible, as far as Bible history is concerned. Before Israel is longer, and the time from Jesus till now is longer than the nation of Israel's actual formation and existence. So, anything you want to add?
No, sir.
All right, give your spiel.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you back this evening at 7 o'clock at the Lake Butler Church of Christ in Lake Butler, Florida, for our evening Bible class.
Wednesday night series on the Psalms.
Yes.
Yes. Till then, have a blessed afternoon.